Welcome to my good start, Lucy. Good start. Basically. Welcome back to my channel. Might be a bit of a rushed video because it is Friday and Friday is my uploading day. Now, I haven't been very well recently. I haven't been able to record, so when I uploaded Monday I was ill. And Tuesday I was ill. Wednesday and Thursday I've just been really busy, like really busy. I've got a show on in 2 weeks, so we've just been rehearsing and doing coursework that's got to be in for 2 weeks, and I've done so much. Basically, we've had 8 weeks to do our workbook. That's how big our workbooks are. Basically, I've practically almost done it, and then boom, I've lost all my work, so I've had to do it all again. So I haven't been able to record as much, and I'm nowhere near finishing like I was last time. So, sorry about the rushing, but anyway, this video might be interesting to you, it might not be interesting to you, depending on what you find interesting, obviously. This video is going to be facts, interesting facts about me, things that you wouldn't know about me, that I haven't told you about yet. Yes, on Monday I uploaded a video of me and JD Bell, another YouTuber, of Get to Know Me. It's quite hilarious. I got a few comments, a request, but I don't know whether that person wants me to still do it or not. I do it in my next video. If that's not a request that's still being asked, then I am going to do a try not to laugh challenge. And basically what I'm going to do is if I laugh, I'm going to do a forfeit every time I laugh. Not just at the end of the film, not just after the end of the video. Whenever I laugh, I'm going to literally pause the video and do the forfeit. So if you have any requests at all, then please let me know. So let's get on with it. And sorry, my voice is kind of going as well. I'm not, like, obviously because I've not been very well. So interesting facts about me. So let's go on with it. I don't know if any of you know who Oliver Cromwell is. He's an historical person, quite well known. If you did history, you might have discussed him, done some work on him, watched videos of him. Without going into huge detail, basically he is my ancestor. I am literally related to Oliver Cromwell. Yes, you might not believe that, but we've actually got a family tree and we've looked at it while my nan has, and she thought it'd be interesting to tell me and my mum and the rest of my family. Some of you might already know a lot about Oliver Cromwell and be like, wow, oh my god, I can't believe she's related to Oliver Cromwell. Or isn't he the one who was grumpy and banned Christmas and Halloween? Yes, he was. But he did some other great things as well. He was the leader in the Civil War, and he's got a museum. Nobody knows where the rest of his body is. I mean, they have the head, but they don't know where the rest of the body is. But if you're wanting more interesting facts on Oliver Cromwell, then you're more than welcome to comment on it, and I will do a video for you on here of what I know about Oliver Cromwell, because obviously I did history myself back in high school, which is 2 years ago. So I'll have to relook at the notes and everything. But yes, I did do Oliver Cromwell. You've seen him on Horrible Histories and CBBC when you were a kid. Stupid motorbike. Anyway, number 2. I have a nan who lives in Spain. So that is the nan who told us about the family tree. She is the nan who told us about Oliver Cromwell. She lives in Spain, in Alicante. I think it's Alicante. And normally I go every year, but I haven't been on holiday for 2 years. But this year I'm going to Greece, so that'll be another vlog. Number 3. Last year, before I did performing arts, I did study hairdressing. I think it was like 2015. I started it at the end of 2015, like September. Yeah, I passed it, which is good, I suppose. Don't ask me to cut your hair. And if I did pass for it, I'm not that comfortable with it. As I've just said, number 4, I am studying performing arts, which is, if you don't know what performing arts is, it's dancing, singing and acting. And we've got a show in 2 weeks, which I've already said at the start of this video. And the show that we are doing is Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. You all, obviously, everybody's heard of the story. Everybody. Or I hope everybody has anyway. I did it in first school. Let's carry on. I played bass guitar. Yes, that seems like a shock, but if you would like a cover of me doing any song that I like, or a specific song, if I know that song, I will, and it's not that hard to learn, I will do a cover of that song and upload it on here. I have a Yamaha, a red one, is basically my baby, and I've called her Cherry. Yeah, I name my guitars. I'm obsessed with red guitars. Talking about red guitars, I've got an acoustic guitar too, called Rosie. Don't know why they all got girl names, but one's right here. But that's mine. That's my beautiful red one called Rosie. So I've got a red Yamaha. Got a red Yamaha called Cherry, and I've got a red acoustic. That one's called Rosie. Number 6, I've been in 2 bands, hence the instruments. Actually, one of them has got a YouTube channel. We're called Disconnected. Now, that's not what you need to type in to get into YouTube to see those videos. That was like 2 years ago, that band was. There's 3 of us. One was the acoustic, one was a bass. No, I think 2 of them were, yeah, 2 of them were acoustic and one was a bass. We were all singers. All of us were singers. And basically, it's 2 years old, so I had long red hair, like really long hair. And the second band I was in is Hide in the Ocean. Now, I was the backup singer for that one and a bassist, though that one didn't really go, neither of them really went to success because we stopped communicating to each other. Like, the band fell apart. Both bands fell apart, Disconnected. I can't remember what happened with Disconnected. We stopped uploading, and the weirdest one there, so obviously I was there, me and Jade. JD Bell was the one in there, yeah. Yeah, JD Bell, he was a member in Disconnected. And yeah, she was a member, she was the other acoustic. I don't know if she still plays acoustic anymore, but she was the other acoustic and singer in the band. In 2015, on the 9th of June, in Manchester, I went to see 5 Stars. 5 Seconds to Summer, if you don't know who 5 Stars are, it's 5 Seconds to Summer. They're an Australian band of 4. Callum, Ashton, Michael and Luke. My favourite at the time would have had to been Luke. Luke was my favourite at the time. I don't really listen to them anymore, no offence to them. Don't really listen to them anymore, but there you go. Obviously when their new album comes out, I'm going to listen to it, obviously, because they're still really good singers. And then, believe it or not, the year later, in October, I met them. 5 Seconds to Summer, I met them when they came to one of the radio stations not far from here, and I went to promote their album, Sounds Good, Feels Good, and I met them. Didn't have photos with them. I had, well, I had a video and screenshotted them to make them look like they were photos. I had a video of them, still on my other phone, but I can't connect to it whatsoever. I can't get into it, there's no videos, there's no camera, so I'm quite gutted with that. But yeah, basically I went round asking questions, I hugged them all. Didn't really speak to Callum that much, like at the time I met them with JD Bell as well. At the time I was trying to get Callum to talk to one of my friends, and he did answer and he did reply, but I didn't really go up to him with the camera and speak to him about his life, not exactly like his personal life, but his concert life and stuff, and band life, and obviously all that. I didn't get to do all that with them, but I did get to hug Luke and Michael, and I did get 3 of the members to say I love Lucy into the camera. Some of you will believe this, some of you won't. I was asked to go modelling, which was a company from London. I couldn't make it, unfortunately. But yeah, I got asked to go down for a meeting, a photo shoot with them. But obviously because of, this was during school and because of exams. No, I think it was after school. It was either during school or after school. Couldn't go because I couldn't get my way down there. Obviously I'm not from down there and it's a long journey down there, and obviously at the time, that is my dog Max. And at the time I wasn't 18 years old, so I had to have my mum with me, or some sort of parent with me anyway, but neither of them could make it, unfortunately. 10. I've dyed my hair 12 times, maybe more. 12 times I think. Basically I've dyed my hair red twice, brown 4 or 5 times, pink twice, blue twice. I've been blonde once, but it was like half a head was blonde, not about all of it. And I've been black as well, but that's when the blue faded and it came to black instead. 11, we're going to see Blink-182 live in July, which you've seen in my previous video, which I've told you about. They're one of my favourite bands, and in the previous video I did say that Green Day and Blink were my favourite bands, but I think that at the moment the top band that's going to be my favourite is going to have to be Foo Fighters, because I'm just like obsessed with that band right now. Like, I can't stop listening to them. Like, I don't understand. I was listening to them a bit before, and then I thought, you know what, I haven't listened to this band in a while, so I'm going to listen to more of their songs, and I just fell in love with them, and now I love listening to it every time I get the bus to college. It's just with my big headphones in. Ooh. I don't know whether this one's interesting to you or not, but 12, I almost got kicked out of college. That's all I'm saying about that. I'm not telling you the story, and even if you ask me to, I'm not telling you the story. At some point, number 13, I'm not saying when, at some point I did apply to The Voice and performed for The Voice. I didn't go on it, so that basically what you do is you have an audition before you get to the chairs, and basically if they like you, you go to the chairs. But I haven't received a call yet, so I don't think I've got in, but it's very rare to get in anyway. 14. Every time I tweet about Nickelback, or I tweet to Nickelback, I always get a response back. Like, they don't normally tweet me back, but they normally like and retweet my tweets, if that makes any sense. And Nickelback is another one of my favourite bands as well. Not many of you listen to it, which is a shame, because most of you should know all their songs. 15. I could and almost did meet Dick and Dom. That's my little brother. They were in like this park area, like it's basically like a big field kind of area, and there was like some sort of festival on. There was like water slides, there was stalls. Basically Dick and Dom were there, and I was literally 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away from it at the time. This was as I was on a walk with somebody, obviously, because I didn't know if they were still there, and by the time I turned up there from the 5-10 minute walk, it obviously finished. So I could have, like, because during that time when they were building, like when they were putting up all the slides and stuff. Yeah, and basically I did go to that park at that point, when they were building it and stuff, but obviously they weren't there at the time. When I was little, now if you're a Me Before You fan, then you know that I've just referenced from there. But yeah, when I was little, I used to horse ride on a horse called Millie. I used to do actually I still horse ride now, but not on Millie. I did horse shows, basically, and I came first and second and third, and then obviously we thought that she could have another foal, and when she had the foal she died. The foal still survived. I'm number 18. I'm a Michael Jackson fan, a huge Michael Jackson fan. I was like his #1 fan when I was little. Like, literally I brought a sparkly fedora. Actually I've got a fedora now. Go get that. Yeah, I've got a fedora now based on Michael Jackson. I can't really put it on my head because I've got a bun in. But yeah, ever since I was a fan of Michael Jackson, I always loved fedoras, like the Michael Jackson kind of style fedoras. Basically I learned a trick when he was alive that he used to do, where he'd put his fingers like this and he would hold the end of the cap and he'd flip it like that over his arm and onto his head like that, which I can't do because I've obviously my bun. But yeah, it flips like that straight onto your head. And then he'd be like, hee hee. Or he used to like wear it over his eyes like so, like do 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 do. Yeah. Yeah. I still listen to his music now, but obviously not as much as I used to, because obviously he's not alive, but he's still the king of pop, and he will always be. And I'm really annoyed when people say Elvis Presley was the king of pop. Like, you obviously don't know Elvis Presley because he was the king of rock and roll. There's a difference between pop and rock and roll. He was the king of rock and roll, not pop. Michael Jackson still and was the king of pop. And Elvis Presley is still and was the king of rock and roll. Number 20. I've always wanted to meet the Suggs siblings, Joe and Zoe. That actually sounds good. Joe and Zoe. No, Joe and Zoe. I always wanted to meet Joey. I believe I said that. I've always wanted to meet the sub-siblings, Zoe and Joe. In a few years, I am going to be moving down to London, as the universities that I want to go to carry on with the performing arts and acting and singing career are down London. Whether I'll get in there though is a completely different story, but I still have to travel down there to audition in a few years time. But what I'm going to do is next year I'm going to do the second year, because this course is a 2-year course. I'm going to do a second year, and then I might take a gap year so that I can get like my funding together. So I'm going to work full time and get my funding for it, and then I'm going to go down London, get an apartment and live down London whilst I do my course. Maybe if I succeed into the course and I get into a company, I might carry on living down there. 22. There is a Star Wars, well, there's a scene from Star Wars, the new movie that's coming down my area, and they are going to be looking for cast. No, it might be just like a chorus. I'm an extra. There you go, that simplifies things. I'm an extra. And I'm going to sign up for it because obviously I love acting, and you know, you have to start small to get big. 23. I could listen to Joe sing all day. He has an amazing voice. Joe, if you ever watch this in a million years, if you ever watch this, you have an amazing voice. Embrace it. Don't hit the table. 24. As said in the previous video with JD Bell, I've always wanted to go to America. Always. LA is where I've always wanted to go for the week. Even if it's just for a week. I've always wanted to go there. No, don't slide away. Sorry, my guitar was sliding away. 26. I used to, when I was a baby, live in a haunted house. I dropped my piece of paper, that's why I pulled that face. The taps were drawn. 27. I used to love Paul Zimmer. I don't know if any of you know who I can never say it, Explanation Point. They were well-known YouTubers until they split up. I don't think they're still together anymore, I don't think so. But I stopped watching them when they split up. Like, basically they stopped doing a group one together. Don't know whether it's because they fell out and now they're back together again. I do not know. I could not fill you in on that, but I can always find out. Or you can find out for yourselves. And that's when I love them both Danny and Paul. Danny Edge and Paul Zimmer. I'm allergic to cinnamon. That's number 28. I'm allergic to cinnamon, which I've just explained at the start of the video. 29. I don't know whether anybody else feels it, but 29, I get along with my brothers more than I do my siblings. Like, I've got an older brother who's 26. Sister's 32 anyway, I know that, or coming to be 22. Coming to be 32. And my younger brother is 6. I'm not very good with birthdays and ages. But yeah, so my brother's 26 or 27. My big sister is 31, coming to 32 I think, or 32, I don't know. My younger sister is 16, yes, my younger sister's 16, and my little brother's 6. And the last and final question is number 30. Last statement is number 30, which I've just said for the siblings. So there you go, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want any more if you want to ask me a few questions, a Q&A, anything, I'll do a Q&A once a month. More than welcome to. So thank you and goodbye.